Welcome to Tarot in White Oracle. We're now Tarot in White Gloves, where we get into the cloud and see what we see. This is going to be for our Sagittarius, you versus them. I do read for current energy, and as it unfolds over the course of the 30 days, we're going to get into feelings, thoughts, actions, wants, the Sagittarius's person, essential energies. Remember that you are the captain of your ship. This is just a snapshot. You can course correct, change direction, stop. This is just to help you to get a snapshot of energy, to gain some guidance, some wisdom. And so we're going to go ahead and dive into it. Remember, I do read for soul tribe, soul mate, and soul twin. So the central energy at the center, the purpose of the connection, the purpose of the relationship, what you're learning, the universe's lessons. It all has to do with surrender, accepting. We did get a strong in the pre-shuffled bread of life. He crowns the humble with victory, Psalms 149:4. Now this is a 14:5:4. This is a 9 value, so it feels like as you're going through tensions or difficulties, as you're going through things you need to overcome, it's important to go inward, to find that balance inward, to humble, to, instead of, the tendency tends to want to be aggressive, to rush in, to take control. And instead, the lesson that's being learned is to find that sense of peace, to yield, to surrender, to accept, to humble. This is everything that was coming out felt very similar. This is a reoccurring energy and or an energy over the next 30 days, which has to do with finding a sense of balance and harmony and peace. So if you haven't had that in the recent past, this is an energy that will be coming out over the next 30 days. There could also be a strong friendship quality between you two. So let's go ahead and dive into the rest of the energy. So for Sagittarius, I was getting the rooster and the sunflower. So this is a perspective that Sagittarius is gaining from this connection, from their person, something that they're learning that's connected to their ability to learn to have balance, harmony, yielding, accepting, going within, as you go through difficulties, challenges, overcoming things, instead of being aggressive or challenging or trying to take control. This perspective is all around communication. So Sagittarius is learning something around how to communicate better, how to communicate to the person better, what communication means. There's a real strong energy also with the sunflower. And the sunflower, if we want to dive a little bit deeper, has to do with being the tallest bloom in the garden, rising high and turning and facing toward the sun. So there's a warmth and a joy that you're finding within the ability to accept, to not have to control every single thing, to be able to communicate what you're feeling to your person, to open the doors of communication and allowing things to blossom, to grow, through the ability to not just holding it all in and trying to control and be aggressive. The perspective that I get from your person, the perspective that they're gaining, is the ram and the dahlia. So this is a very strong charging forward. They're learning to be able to keep their determination. And so it's not giving up. They're knowing that, they're learning that there is a determination still in being able to be still. Even though you are not taking control of everything or being aggressive, you can still charge forward and be determined in your tendency of being humble or accepting. So rather than trying to twist and change a situation into, like, that became a pretzel, it's more like just accepting the pretzel for what it is and putting some salt on it, and now we can enjoy it. So there's something around learning about how to remain determined while still having a sense of peace, harmony, acceptance, and yielding with your person in the connection itself without trying to untwist a pretzel. There's something around that you're gaining a perspective in, learning around. But this is also, it's like a reminder that you have the power to accomplish your wildest dreams. And others might lose interest or lose heart, but you are a persistent type. You are an ambitious type. You are a determined type. And so through it all, you're able to charge forward. And the dahlia is also a really strong flower. You know, it's a queen of the autumn garden, and it's one of the strongest that continues to grow through summer and through fall more than the other flowers. So it's like there's something very persistent and ambitious and determined in your energy, the perspective that you're gaining in this connection, while also understanding that it's not giving up simply because you are accepting and yielding and finding peace in the connection somehow. So this is something that's going on over the next 30 days. We also get the angel advice, which we'll go over toward the end, 7777, perseverance, which is your energy here, and 2121 energy levels, which feels more like Sagittarius's. So this is, of course, we get 14 and 14, which is 5, 5, 10, and then 3, 3, 6, which numerically equals a 7 again. So the value overall, both wanted to fall out in the pre-shuffle, is saying resting, reflecting, going inward, yielding, accepting, coming to a certain amount of peace within, humbling yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to lose your determination. It just means that you're coming to peace within and within the connection. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper and find out what's going on in your connection, feelings, thoughts, actions, and wants. Who is your person? How is your person showing up? And how is Sagittarius showing up? So we're going to draw for Sagittarius first. All right, we do get our Judgment, but Judgment is reversed. And how is Sagittarius showing up in the current energy over the next 30 days? How is Sagittarius showing up in the current energy over the next 30 days? This one wants to come out. Chariot in the upright. If you watch my channel, you know that I love to dive into the Egyptian cards, glyphs, Hebrew letters, and of course our animals. So you see a lot of that on my channel. Oh, before we go any further, so on the Sag side, I do see the chicken, which is the rooster, an air sign. I feel like this is a cardinal air, so Libra, you might be connecting to a Libra. And this energy, of course, feels like the Aries. So you might also be connecting to an Aries, but take it as it resonates for you. So you don't have to be. Those are just the signs that are coming up right now. So I do see hyena and Judgment in the reverse and strength or chariot in the upright. So what this energy is saying to me is the Sagittarius is masking maybe resentments or things that they want to hide in the connection or from others. They are using, you know, jokes, sarcasm to cover up maybe pains or things that they want to communicate, but they're not really sure if they should communicate. And this feels tied to learning how to communicate. They're learning how to communicate instead of, because how they're showing up is someone who is not really saying how they really feel. They're using sarcasm and jokes and charm and drawing people in, like getting the attention, getting the affection, but they're not actually being fully genuine. This is also an energy around being very social, group-oriented, a pack animal. So the Sagittarius may be feeling very social as well over the next 30 days. We do get Judgment in the reverse. So at the core, it feels like Sagittarius isn't sure what to do, or they can't make a judgment call on what to do. The chariot, of course, is moving forward, like making a decision on what to do, where to go, how to move forward. And it feels like the Sagittarius isn't quite sure what to do. They feel a little stuck in the current energy. Let's go ahead and see what your person, Sagittarius, is showing up as in the current energy and over the next 30 days. Anything for wisdom, most useful, best information. How is Sagittarius's person? All right, we do get our Queen of Cups. All right, Sagittarius has got some beautiful energy over here. I mean, sorry, Sagittarius's person. Well, maybe you are the Sag. Remember, energy can be flipped. So if you feel like you're here, Sag, this could be your person. Wow. All right, some really beautiful energy. So glad to see this on your side. So we do get our Cobra, Queen of Cups, and Two of Cups on the Sagittarius's person's side. The Cobra is our inner teacher. It's our inner wisdom. It's our inner power, our, you know, that loving, watching over you, inner wisdom, guiding kind of energy. It's also still and restful. It reminds me a lot of this 7 angel energy, which is all about resting, being still, like God rested on the 7th day. The energy says it's time to take a break, step back, reflect on things. You don't need to make a move. You don't need to be fast on it. You already have the determination. It's within you. You haven't lost any determination, but it's time to accept, yield, be at peace, take a step back and reflect. And the Queen of Cups is beautiful. You know, this is tapping into your, again, your inner knowing, your inner wisdom. These two energies together feel very wise, very connected to yourself, to source, to knowing your purpose, what to do. You can have a lot of emotions as well for your person, especially with our Two of Cups. This feels like soulmate energy, just a rush of emotion for this person. Strong soulmate energy and strong wisdom connection. You might feel very intuitively tied to this person, the Sagittarius. So you might also be connecting Sag or Sag's person to a this is going to be a strong Cancer Scorpio. For me, this is more Cancer, but it could also be Scorpio. So Sag's person is showing up beautifully, very connected to themselves, connected to you, Sag. Very wise, determined, listening to their inner guidance and knowing that they've got a win-win attitude. Like they know they can win. They're not going to quit kind of attitude. This energy feels like there's still something to learn here. Like the Sag, and remember, it can be flipped. You know, the Sag could be here and this could be a person. I feel for many of you, the Sag actually is here. But take it as it resonates. I'm reading so that the Sag is here and Sag's person is here. You're feeling like you're hiding something still. There's still something that you are trying to convey the truth about to your person, to yourself. It may be around emotions. It may be around what you really want or need. It could be around a number of things. Let's go ahead and dive a little farther in here so we can see, or further in here. We're going to go ahead and look at feelings. Feelings for Sagittarius. And the connection for their person. Okay, these two wanted to come out and this one wants to come out. Okay, so you've got a lot of feelings showing up here. 3 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Page of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. So first and foremost, you know, something feels magical in this connection to the Sagittarius. On this, the person A over here. You know, it feels like a spring in your step, moving forward. Like you want to get those shoes on to do this journey with this person. You feel like building a life or rebuilding something here, working as a team. You guys have a team building kind of mentality together. Like you guys can do it. This feels like that determined energy that I was getting from the ram. And this feels like we can do it. I'm not going to quit. We've got a win-win kind of mentality going on. Right after that, we do get some energy that feels like young love, fresh. This could be an I love you and I'm sorry. As we dive deeper, we'll find out more. But this feels like it can have a little fantasy aspect to it too. You know, it can feel a little bit, is not so much too good to be true, but like maybe a little like a little fairyland. This can have a fairyland kind of quality. And a lot of times soulmate and soul twin connections have that quality. But this also feels fresh, like fresh love, wanting to show up emotionally for you. But it's very young energy, right? It's not yet committed. It's very, but it's trying. And then we get our Five of Pentacles, which is focusing on what you don't have, Sagittarius. So the encouragement would be to look at what you do have. You know, you've got so much that's left over. So instead of looking at what you don't have, look at what you do have and focus on that, because there's energy showing up that makes you feel like you're in lack, or that something is in lack here. And maybe that's why you're a little bit stuck. Is that coming from you? Is that coming from your sense of feeling like maybe I don't have enough to give this person, or maybe I need more financially before we can make this work? Let's go ahead and dive a little deeper and see what we get. For Sag's person. Feelings from Sagittarius's person. How are they feeling for the connection in the current energy? Right, so we do get our Five of Swords reversed, the Ace of Swords, and our Four of Cups. So Sagittarius's person is, if they were feeling doubts or skepticism, it looks like over the next 30 days, those are starting to wane, calm down. They're coming into a space where they feel more sure, confident. The Ace of Swords is like, we've got solutions here. We've got ideas. We're going to figure this out. Like, damn it, we're not giving up. We're not letting this go, or I'm not letting this go. This reminds me a lot of the Sword and the Stone, where it's like just the right person puts their hand on it and is able to pull it out because they're coming in with good intentions, right? And this feels like the Sagittarius's person is coming in with good intentions, with truth, clarity, solutions, honesty, and they're getting rid of those doubts, those skepticisms, and they're like, you know what? Let's just be honest with each other. Let's be real, and we can figure this out. This energy, though, feels a bit like those Five of Pentacles. At the very end, both of you have something showing up, which is like, you know, Sag is feeling like, I don't know if I have enough. Is enough here? Do I have enough to give? Am I going to be left out in the cold or abandoned? There's a bit of an abandonment fear. And then Sag's person is feeling a lot of times this reminds me of an aqua energy, you know, where it's like they come across a little cold, standoffish, withdrawn, or detached, but they're still in it. And I can see that they're still in it because I get these two energies here. But it's like way in the background, they might be coming across as a bit detached or withdrawn. or like they don't care, but they really do care. So that energy is coming up here in the feeling space of how Sagittarius person is feeling about the connection about you. So this might be, this person might feel like you're coming across as someone who doesn't care or isn't showing up, wondering, you feel a little withdrawn. But mostly this feels like good energy. It's just a little bit in the background. So let's go ahead and dive into our perspectives and see what we get. How does Sagittarius perceive this connection? How does Sagittarius perceive this connection? Wow, okay. How does Sagittarius perceive this connection? Why is the Justice reversed? All right, so this is how Sagittarius is perceiving the connection or perceiving their person. So Justice is in reverse, and it's about our Three of Swords. So something feels like a broken heart or hurt, pain was caused, or there's some sort of false belief that was around yourself, or the person said some words and it made you feel a certain way that was false, and that may have hurt you. And this has caused a sense of something isn't right here, something isn't fair here, something's imbalanced. For some of you, this can also have to do with contracts, something with the courts, maybe divorce papers or separations that haven't quite finalized, custody hearings. It's like something isn't quite in place yet. It can also be as simple as a car accident and you're waiting on, you know, maybe it's up in the air. Like, is my insurance going to cover it all? Am I going to get sued? But there's something about it that's breaking your heart, so it feels more important than a material thing. You know, it feels like it would have to do with family, children, marriages, or your person or you. There is some sort of exchange of words, since we get a lot of swords here, you know, and communication, learning about communication, something in the way something was communicated, making someone feel some kind of way about something. And so there's that perception overall in the current energy and as it flows over the next 30 days. And that's putting the Sagittarius in a place where they are having some skepticism and doubt. Yours was in the reverse, person B over here. So it's like you're resolving that. You're in a really healthy space over here. This person has a little bit more to deal with. It's bringing up that skepticism and doubt of you or of the connection. Or they're perceiving you as someone who has skepticism and doubt, which maybe you did in the past because of the way things were working out or with this person. But it looks like you're resolving those over the next 30 days because your Five of Swords is in reverse. So it's whatever skepticism and doubts this side is perceiving from you, it's like you're resolving it. But I also get the Sun. So we end with something really beautiful, right? This energy is very joyful. And what this energy is the sunflower. So we get the sunflower twice now. This energy is powerful joy, positivity, and just makes everything brighter and happier. And there's clarity coming through, growth, strength. So at the end of it all, you know, there's some of that trying to push through and be that light at the end of the tunnel. You know, it's like, it feels like you guys are going through something, and it might be causing a bit of hurt or pain, some skepticism, some doubt, either from this side or the perception. Remember, this is the way Sag is perceiving it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth, but it's what's going on in their mind. You know, they're having the skepticisms and doubts of the connection, or they're feeling like that's coming from you. And I feel like that's around something that feels very unfair, unjust. For many of you, that can be around your family, divorces, court hearings, separations, this kinds of thing. But take it as it resonates for you. It could be another kind of justice that's unjust. For some of you, it could have to do with social situations, society, something very unfair and unjust in society itself wants to come up. But there is a light that is all around this situation. And because it shows up twice, this is a strong reminder. We actually get to see the sun again on the shirt. So it's like 1, 2, 3 different examples of a strong, powerful, positive joy coming through. And I feel like this is around the communication. So I feel like when Sagittarius gets into their communicative side and they're able to communicate with their person, things are going to start to feel a whole lot better. Because we get 3 suns. Some of you might be seeing roosters or rams as confirmation. This is for you as well. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment, because we are a growing channel and I love hearing from you. And remember that we do a you versus them every Saturday, and we do a collective every Wednesday. Some of you may be seeing 7777 as confirmation that this is for you as well. So let's go ahead and dive into perspectives for your person. Sagittarius is person, soul tribe, soulmate, soul twin. For guidance, most useful, beneficial information. How are they perceiving this connection or their person? Oh, we get that 2 of Cups again. All right, so we do get a strong energy around the 6 of Wands. Beautiful energy. The 2 of Cups. Remember, we had our 2 of Cups up here with our Egyptian energy as well. And our 7 of Pentacles. So this feels a lot from your person, the person over here. For many of you, I feel like this is the Sag, but take it as it resonates. I'm reading for person A is Sag, person B is Sag's person. Person B really feels like this connection, or you, it's like between you and God, you and this person. It's private between you. There's something strong, spiritual, a very strong spiritual and emotional, intuitive connection together. They perceive you in this connection in a really positive, spiritual perspective. Very strong soulmate energy. And this person wants to invest in this. They want to move forward. But this is a slow energy. This energy, again, is another 7 energy. We're getting this energy a lot. This is the 3rd time this 7 energies come up, where it's like you are resting, taking a step back, reflecting on the relationship, but yet you also have perseverance, determination. Like you're not giving up. You are accepting, moving in peace, balance, harmony, resting, reflecting, taking a step back kind of energy. But you're very much wanting to invest, or you feel like this connection's worthwhile, or your person's worthwhile, or you feel like your person, you have a very strong connection with this person. All right, let's go ahead and see what we get for wants. What does Sagittarius want over the next 30 days from the current energy? Remember, you are the captain of your ship. You can course correct, slow down, speed up. It doesn't feel intentional. And the Ace of Pentacles, double energy, and the 8 of Cups. All right, so this person A's energy, the Sagittarius side, This feels like they want to start something real in this connection with you. To make something manifest here on the physical realm between you two that's more committed or more invested. For some of you, that's, you know, exclusivity. For others of you, that might be finalizing the separation or divorce and moving in together. You know, it'll vary for each situation, but this energy feels very much like wanting to make something happen between the two of you. And moving toward what's making you happy and leaving behind those things that are not making you happy. And so letting go of whatever it was in the past that was not happy and going toward your happiness together in some sort of way where there's an investment here. And what does person B want, or Sagittarius's person? Sagittarius's person, this person here, they want to fight for this connection. They want communication. Hello, Sag. They want communication. They want action. They may feel a telepathic connection with you. Like, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're thinking. They may feel like they know you really well. And it's like they want to fight for this connection, communication, action. And they also, this is a Page of Pentacles, which is very similar to the Ace of Pentacles. You both get that on your outer placement. It's like they also want to build something here, invest something here, make something grow that feels real, solid, earthbound. You both are showing up for each other, being present in the now kind of energy. All right, let's see what we get for what does Sagittarius, Sagittarius's action. So before we jump into that, we want to draw for the most important, the biggest life event or relationship event over the next 30 days. So I'm very drawn to this symbol. This is our Hebrew symbol. And what this is our High Priestess energy. So yeah, I was feeling a very strong soulmate connection. This usually comes out when you have a very strong soulmate or soul twin mirror soul connection. So this energy feels like the most important event that'll be happening over the next 30 days is knowing. There will be a knowing in this connection, like what to do, like this is your person or this isn't your person. You'll be really clear on that. And I feel for most of you, it's like you'll know that this is your person, and there'll be a sense of peace because you have knowing. So all this energy feels very similar. Let's go ahead and draw into actions. What will our Sagittarius be doing? What actions are most important to know for guidance, wisdom, and healing? Most useful, beneficial information. Yeah, here's that 9 again. I got that from Psalms 1494. This was an energy of 9, which is a reminder of when we are going through troubles, tribulations, tensions, things that we need to overcome, problems. This energy is very anxious and worrisome, worried. He crowns the humble with victory. Crowning energy. That's what the High Priestess is. The High Priestess is a crowning energy for the magician energy. So this is divine feminine crowning the divine masculine in soulmate, soul twin energy. He crowns the humble with victory. So as you are getting into your communications, as you're learning to communicate better and release that pride, that ego, which is all fear-based energy preventing you from showing up genuine within yourself and for this person in connection, you're humbling yourself. As you start to reach that point, you will become victorious because the divine feminine energy will fully be able to crown your energy, which means the both of you will be able to lift up together in more alignment, more peace, in just knowing that you will overcome whatever obstacles are before you and between you. So very beautiful repeated energy here. That just a reminder that this is a very strong soulmate connection. So I do see the 8 of Wands, and this is an energy which is what you want, person B, Sag's person. You want that communication, you want that action. And that's what the Sagittarius is going to be doing. The Sag is going to be taking action, communicating, which is the perspective that they're learning of what they need to do. And a beautiful Emperor energy. This is a very strong soul purpose, soul contract. So this is a divine masculine energy. So this is like the divine masculine is finally showing up on this side of the energy. Take gender as it resonates, but this is divine masculine. You may be connecting to an Aries. We get that over here as well. And this also reminds me of contracts though. This is like you're handling some sort of contracts or something you need to deal with that's really important in work or life. I mean, for some of you, maybe it could be health. You're getting information that you need. Something that is really worrisome. It's family oriented or life oriented, health oriented. And it's upsetting, but it's like you have the strength to make it through. And again, this is a divine masculine energy showing up. So it's like this side is finally coming to terms with their soul contracts. For some of you, it's just very strong soul contracts that are needing to be looked at. And this side of the energy is finally going to be looking at them, dealing with them. Because you both, it feels like, have agreed to learn some lessons through each other, but maybe this side of the energy was resisting some, you know, like we did get the judgment call in reverse. This is like not quite leaving their old version of self, staying as they are, not transforming, not growing, not being born above, but just being stuck, not knowing what judgment call to make on something. And this is, at the end of the day, it feels like, all right, I'm finally going to do that. I'm going to look at what I need to do. I'm going to make that judgment call. I'm going to look at those soul contracts. For some of you, it's real earth contracts, separations, divorces, health things, health matters. But there's some sort of contract at play, or a work contract, where you are finally taking a look at it, dealing with it. getting into your divine masculine power. But it does come with some worry, some anxiety, worried, right? So remember that the divine feminine energy is crowning your energy as you mature, as you grow, as you deal with your soul contracts, you deal with your life, make those judgment calls. And a tender, peaceful feeling will come over you in knowing what to do. So focus on letting go of that pride, that ego that is resisting, that often just wants to resist and deny. And as you let go of that pride and move into your humility, your knowing will manifest within you, which is all about love and peace, surrender and humility. And that's where you're going to find your strength. So let's look at some of the signs. You may be connecting to Scorpio. This is a strong Aries showing up again. That's also a Scorpio. You may be connecting to a Leo, a Libra again. This was also a Libra. Capricorn, another strong Aries. All right, let's go ahead and dive into your person. How is person B, or Sagittarius's person, going to be showing up in the current energy from the next 30 days? What actions will they be taking? Wow, beautiful. The side of the energy is so beautiful. Oh, no. Five of Pentacles. No. All right. And the world, why Five of Pentacles? All right, because of the... All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. So your person is going to be showing up with divine masculine energy too. This is a perfect match. The Magician and the High Priestess. This is like an alignment and union within themselves. So it feels like this side of the energy is coming into alignment with themselves. A very deep knowing, a very deep ability to listen to their higher guidance, their intuition, their emotions, and that will let them know what to do, and they will be able to do it. They will feel very capable, aligned, moving forward in whatever direction that means for them. This is a very, the Magician is like making something out of nothing. It's being able to make that solution like we got with our Ace of Swords earlier, being able to make a solution out of something that seemed maybe even impossible. We do get our Five of Pentacles showing up at the bottom here. So, but this is with the Tower energies. And remember, we had that fear show up in the feeling space of this side of the energy. So I feel like this person's fear at the very end of it, because we get that fear here and the fear here, is affecting or will be affecting the connection. And that's going to be affecting this person's action. So this is a feeling like of not really having enough, or for some of you, maybe feeling like your person is not showing up, or did they abandon me, or am I left out in the cold? This is around the Tower though. So something happens over the next 30 days that is unexpected. It's probably going to feel like it's happening to you, but it's happening for you to help align you guys both on a firmer foundation, to break down the false foundations between you. And it's going to make this person not able to show up for you fully, whether that means it feels like abandonment or feels like, you know what, I had to put $100 in the pot and you're only putting two. It just, something is going to feel like where nothing's here on your side. But this person's energy feels very good. And this is just a moment in time between you that's going to be taking place because of something that's unexpected that they don't have any control over. But the reason it's happening is to realign the connection, because there's going to be purpose coming out of that loss so that something can be repurposed here. And remember, when you're projecting fear, like abandonment wounds, or I don't have enough, or we don't have enough in this connection, and I've got a lot of anxiety and worry, remember that's going to manifest. If I'm feeling stuck, I'm not really sure what to do. So some of this energy is clogging the connection. And I feel like because of that, that's going to push this person, the tower energy is going to take place in order to rebalance this. Something is going to crumble and fall apart in order to make things right. And then we get the world. So your person is going to then redo whatever needs to be done right. Something was done and it wasn't right. And we also see that justice up showing in reverse. The justice showing up in reverse. So something happens, it's not right, it's not fair. And right after that, a redo is on the table. It'll be redone between you, so that those lessons can be learned and come full circle. So that's what we have for you here. And what we get for our angel advice is perseverance, which we do get on this side of the energy. Oh, signs as well. Gemini and all of our earth signs. Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. And of course we have our Aries. So those are all the signs showing up. It doesn't have to be, but those are the signs that's showing up strongest in this reading. Perseverance, perspective shift. So this is around changing your perspective. Reflection, reflecting on things. We were talking about that a lot in all this energy. Resilience. You have the resilience though, and the inner wisdom, the enlightenment, and determination. That's exactly what they say here. Determination. We even use the same word. Now is the time to shift your perspective on the challenges that currently dominate your life. To achieve success, continue on your path with determination. Tap into your inner wisdom, and you will intuitively know the right next step to take. That's exactly what we were talking about. All right, 2121. This is your, I feel like this is for this person, but take it as it resonates. 2121 energy levels, prosperity, harmony. We got harmony energy here. Journey, patience, and discipline, focus, trust, relationships. It feels like this is advice for this person. The day you've been waiting for is on its way. Maintain your discipline as you move closer to your ultimate goal. There is no need to overextend yourself. Guard your energy. Stay focused. Your efforts will pay off. And remember, it's a climb. It's not an elevator ride. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And remember to always join us on Saturdays for your you versus them. Wednesdays, weekly, we do a collective so you can touch base with what's going on. And I love having you here and enjoy reading all of your comments. And I will see you guys in the next 30 days. Take care.